The small cargo ship Horizon drifted quietly through the dark emptiness of space. Captain William Thompson stood near the main window, watching the distant stars. His hands were rough and calloused, telling stories of years spent working hard and fighting to survive. William was not like other ship captains. He came from a poor family in northern England, where his parents had struggled to make ends meet. From a young age, he learned that life was about working hard and never giving up. Those lessons stayed with him, even now, commanding a research vessel in the vast galactic space. The ship's crew was small but dedicated. Emily Hartley, his second in command, sat at the main computer station. She was checking the ship's systems, her fingers moving quickly across the screen. Behind her, Thomas Green was reviewing communication logs, his young face serious and concentrated. Their mission was simple but boring: collect scientific data and map unexplored regions of space. The Galactic Confederation always gave human crews the most mundane tasks. No exciting adventures, no critical missions. Just routine work that nobody else wanted to do. William knew they were capable of more. He had seen the potential in his crew, their creativity, their determination, their ability to solve problems in ways no other species could imagine. But no one seemed to notice or care. The ship's interior was clean but worn. Metal walls showed signs of repair, patches covering old damage. Everything worked, but nothing looked brand new. It was a perfect reflection of the crew, functional, reliable, but often overlooked. Emily looked up from her screen. "Captain, we're approaching the Vortex Nebula sector. Scanning protocols are ready." William nodded. Another routine day in their unremarkable journey. Thomas interrupted the silence. "Captain, I'm detecting an unusual signal. It's different from anything we've seen before." William walked over to the communication station. The screen showed a complex pattern of signals, dancing and shifting in ways that didn't match any known communication protocol. "Can you make sense of it?" William asked. Thomas shook his head. "Not yet, but it's definitely not random. There's a structure here, something deliberate." Emily joined them, her eyes scanning the data. "This could be significant. We should document everything." The ship's computer began processing the signals, creating complex maps and diagrams. Something was happening, something that could change everything they knew about space communication. William felt a familiar feeling rising in his chest. Hope, excitement, the possibility that they might discover something important. For years, human crews had been treated like the lowest rank in the Galactic Confederation, always given the simplest tasks, never trusted with critical missions. But moments like these, unexpected discoveries, strange signals, could change everything. The Horizon continued its slow, steady journey. Outside, stars flickered like distant candles. Inside, the crew worked with quiet intensity, unaware that their simple research mission might become something extraordinary. Thomas continued analyzing the signals. Emily checked and rechecked the data. William watched them, feeling proud of his team. They might be an overlooked human crew, but they were smart, dedicated, and ready for anything. The unusual signal continued to pulse and dance across the screen, a mysterious invitation to something unknown. A challenge waiting to be understood. William smiled. This was why he loved space exploration. Not the grand adventures or heroic moments, but these quiet, unexpected instances when something new and amazing might be just around the corner. The Horizon moved forward, carrying its small crew into the unknown. A simple ship with an ordinary mission. But sometimes, ordinary can become extraordinary in the blink of an eye. As the distant stars watched silently, the first chapter of an incredible journey was about to begin. The End Universal Message. Every great discovery starts with curiosity and a willingness to look beyond the obvious. Would you like me to elaborate on any part of this section or prepare the next part of the story? The computer screen flickered with strange patterns, casting a blue light across Emily Hartley's focused face. She had been working for hours, her cup of cold tea forgotten beside her keyboard. Something about the mysterious signal from the vortex nebula sector was different, almost alive. Thomas Green watched over her shoulder, his breathing quiet and controlled. They both knew they were onto something special, something that could change everything they understood about space communication. "Look at these patterns," Emily muttered, her fingers dancing across the keyboard. Mathematical equations and complex diagrams filled the screen. Each movement revealed another layer of the mysterious signal, like peeling back the layers of an intricate puzzle. William Thompson walked into the research room, his heavy boots making soft sounds against the metal floor. He could sense the electricity of excitement in the air. Years of experience had taught him to recognize moments of potential breakthrough. "What have you found?" he asked quietly. Emily looked up, her eyes bright with discovery. "The signal isn't just a random transmission. It has a structure, a quantum communication pattern we've never seen before." Thomas pointed at the screen. "Traditional communication methods rely on straightforward information transfer. But this is different. It's like the signal can exist in multiple states simultaneously." William leaned closer. The diagram showed intricate connections that seemed to bend the rules of traditional communication. Signals that could travel faster than light, communicate through impossible barriers, and carry complex information in ways no one had imagined. The Horizon continued its journey through space, unaware that inside its metal walls, something remarkable was happening. A small human research crew was about to challenge everything the Galactic Confederation thought they knew. Emily began running complex simulations. Each test revealed more about the mysterious signal. It wasn't just a communication method. It was a completely new way of understanding information transfer. "This could change everything," Thomas whispered. William placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. He remembered his days growing up in a small English town, where people told him that impossible dreams were just that, impossible. But he had learned that with hard work and determination, nothing was truly out of reach. Hours turned into days. The crew worked without rest, fueled by coffee and the excitement of potential discovery. They documented every detail, every strange mathematical connection they found in the signal. The quantum communication method they were uncovering could potentially penetrate communication barriers that had stumped advanced civilizations for centuries. It was a breakthrough that could revolutionize how species communicated across vast cosmic distances. But they knew the challenges ahead would be significant. The Galactic Confederation was not known for accepting radical ideas, especially from a human crew often considered inferior and inexperienced. "We'll need solid proof," William said. "More than just theory. We need practical demonstration." Emily nodded. "Which means we'll have to design tests that can't be ignored or dismissed." As the Horizon moved silently through space, the crew worked with a sense of purpose. They weren't just researchers anymore. They were potential pioneers of a communication revolution. Thomas continued running simulations, his young face serious and concentrated. Each test brought them closer to understanding the mysterious signal's true potential. The quantum communication method they were developing wasn't just a scientific breakthrough. It was a testament to human creativity, persistence, and the ability to see possibilities where others saw only limitations. Outside the ship's windows, stars continued their ancient dance. Inside, a small human crew was about to change the understanding of communication forever. William looked at his team, Emily with her brilliant mathematical mind, Thomas with his innovative thinking. They were more than colleagues. They were a family united by curiosity and the desire to push beyond known boundaries. The Horizon moved forward, carrying its precious discovery into the vast unknown cosmic landscape. A simple research vessel that might just hold the key to humanity's greatest technological leap. The End Universal Message. True innovation comes from those brave enough to challenge existing knowledge and imagine what others consider impossible. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The massive conference hall was silent, filled with alien commanders from different galactic civilizations. Their strange, colorful uniforms contrasted sharply with the simple gray suits of the human delegation. William Thompson stood at the center, his hands steady, his heart racing. Emily Hartley positioned their research presentation, her fingers moving quickly across the holographic display. Years of work had led to this moment. A chance to prove that human researchers were more than just junior partners in the Galactic Confederation. The alien commanders looked bored. Some whispered among themselves, clearly believing this would be another forgettable human presentation. Their body language suggested dismissal, a subtle indication that they didn't expect much from a human crew. Thomas Green, standing beside Emily, felt nervous. His young face showed determination, but his hands were slightly shaking. This presentation could change everything, or destroy their careers forever. Distinguished members of the Galactic Research Council, William began, his voice calm and clear. We have discovered a quantum communication method that could revolutionize interstellar communication. A tall blue-skinned commander from the Rigel system interrupted. Another human theory, I suppose? William remained composed. He had faced skepticism his entire life. Growing up poor in northern England had taught him patience and resilience. Emily activated the holographic demonstration. Complex mathematical equations and signal patterns began dancing in the air. The room suddenly went completely silent. The quantum communication model they had developed was unlike anything the commanders had ever seen. It could penetrate communication barriers, transmit information through impossible distances, and maintain signal integrity in ways that defied current technological understanding. Thomas began explaining the technical details. His voice was steady, his knowledge deep. He broke down complex concepts into simple, understandable language, a skill that made their presentation unique. One by one, the alien commanders leaned forward. Their initial boredom transformed into genuine interest. The human crew was showing something truly extraordinary. The Rigel commander who had earlier dismissed them now looked stunned. How is this possible? He asked. William smiled. Human creativity. We approach problems differently. Where others see barriers, we see opportunities. Emily presented practical demonstrations. Each test showed the quantum communication method's incredible potential. It could revolutionize everything from space exploration to military communication strategies. The conference hall buzzed with excitement. Whispers turned into discussions. Skeptical looks transformed into looks of genuine wonder. Thomas realized they were witnessing a historic moment. A small human research team was challenging the established understanding of communication technology. Hours passed. The presentation continued. Every technical detail was meticulously explained, every potential application carefully demonstrated. The human crew showed not just scientific brilliance but also remarkable communication skills. By the presentation's end, the alien commanders were no longer dismissive. They were impressed, even excited. The quantum communication method represented a technological leap that could change everything. We will need to review your complete research, the head of the Galactic Research Council announced. This appears to be a significant breakthrough. William looked at Emily and Thomas. Their years of hard work, their dedication, their belief in human potential, everything had led to this moment. The conference hall, once a place of skepticism, now buzzed with possibility. The human crew had done what many thought impossible. They had proven their worth. As they left the conference hall, William put his hands on Emily and Thomas's shoulders. We did it, he said quietly. We showed them what humans can do. Outside, the galactic city sparkled with lights. Inside the humans' hearts, a sense of triumph burned bright. They had challenged the system and won. The end universal message. Persistence, creativity, and belief in oneself can overcome even the most entrenched doubts and prejudices. Would you like me to prepare the next part of the story? The horizon moved silently through a dark section of space, its mission critical and dangerous. William Thompson studied the holographic mission map, his weathered hands tracing potential routes. The alien threat they were about to face could destroy entire star systems if not stopped. Emily Hartley checked the quantum communication systems. Their breakthrough technology was now their most important weapon. Thomas Green sat at the navigation console, his young face serious and focused. "We have one chance," William said quietly. "One opportunity to stop the advancing technological threat." The mission was simple but impossible. They needed to infiltrate a communication network that had defeated every other species in the Galactic Confederation. No ship had ever successfully penetrated its defenses. But the Horizon was different. Their quantum communication method could do what no other technology could: break through impossible barriers, understand complex signal patterns, and potentially disable the threat from within. Thomas's fingers moved across the console. "Approaching the first communication barrier," he announced. The ship's interior felt tense, like a coiled spring ready to release. Emily's hands flew across her computer panel. The quantum communication system began its complex dance of signals and counter-signals. It was like watching a mathematical ballet, each movement precise and calculated. Outside the ship's windows, space looked empty. But they knew danger lurked everywhere. The technological threat they were facing could detect and destroy most traditional spacecraft within seconds. "Remember," William told his crew, "we're not just a research vessel anymore. We're humanity's best hope." The first communication barrier approached. Normally, any ship would be instantly detected and destroyed, but their quantum method worked differently. It didn't just communicate, it became part of the communication network. Thomas held his breath. Emily's concentration was absolute. William watched the screens, years of experience guiding his intuition. Suddenly, the ship's systems changed. They were inside the network, undetected, invisible, moving like a ghost through impossible defenses. "It's working," Emily whispered. Her voice was a mixture of excitement and disbelief. The quantum communication method did more than just enter the network. It began to understand it. Complex technological patterns that had defeated entire civilizations were now being decoded by a small human crew. Thomas mapped their progress. Each movement was calculated, each signal carefully managed. They were doing what no one believed possible, infiltrating an unbreakable system. William remembered his childhood in a small English town. Nobody had ever believed he would do anything significant. Now he was leading a mission that could save millions of lives. Hours passed. The Horizon moved deeper into the technological network. Their quantum communication method was like a key, unlocking secrets that had remained hidden for generations. Emily discovered critical vulnerabilities. Thomas mapped potential shutdown sequences. William coordinated their efforts, his leadership keeping them focused and calm. The technological threat began to show signs of confusion. Their complex defensive systems were encountering something they couldn't understand, a communication method that didn't follow any known rules. "We're close," William said. "Just a few more minutes." The ship's interior was quiet, filled with concentration. Each crew member knew the stakes. One mistake could mean total destruction. Suddenly, the network's defenses began to collapse. Their quantum communication method was working perfectly, breaking through barriers that had seemed unbreakable. Thomas looked up, his eyes bright with excitement. "We're in," he said. Emily's final sequence would disable the entire technological network. Months of research, years of preparation, a lifetime of believing in human potential. Everything came down to these moments. William watched his crew. They were more than colleagues. They were a family, a team that had done what no one believed possible. The Horizon continued its silent journey, carrying with it the hopes of an entire species. The End Universal Message. Belief in one's potential can overcome the most impossible challenges. Would you like me to prepare the final part of the story? The Great Hall of the Galactic Confederation was packed. Alien species from 100 different worlds watched in silence. William Thompson stood at the center, his simple gray uniform, looking plain among the colorful alien uniforms. Emily Hartley and Thomas Green stood beside him, their hands clasped tightly. They had changed everything, not just for humans, but for the entire galaxy. The mission had been successful beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The technological threat that had terrified millions of civilizations was now completely neutralized, and it was a human crew that had done the impossible. Captain William Thompson, the Grand Chancellor announced, his voice echoing through the massive hall. You have demonstrated something we have overlooked for generations. William remembered his childhood in a small English town. He thought about his parents, his father who worked in the factories, his mother who cleaned houses. They had taught him that hard work and belief could overcome any obstacle. The quantum communication breakthrough was more than just a technological achievement. It was proof that humans were more than just junior partners in the galactic community. Emily stepped forward. Her presentation detailed how their unique approach, combining human creativity, emotional intelligence, and technological innovation, had succeeded where advanced civilizations had failed. Thomas explained the technical details. His young voice was clear and confident. Gone were the days when human crews were seen as inexperienced or unimportant. The alien commanders who had once dismissed them now looked at the human crew with respect. Some even showed signs of admiration. Your method, the Rigel commander said, is unlike anything we've ever seen. You didn't just solve a problem. You reimagined how problem-solving could work. William looked at his crew. They were more than colleagues. They were a family. A team that had changed the understanding of human potential. The Galactic Confederation was changing. Humans would no longer be assigned simple, boring missions. They would be sought after for complex, creative problem-solving tasks. Emily received the highest scientific honor. Thomas was offered positions on multiple research teams, but their greatest reward was something more important: respect. As they left the hall, the weight of their achievement became real. They had proven that human creativity, persistence, and emotional intelligence were powerful tools. The horizon waited for them, no longer just a simple research vessel, but a symbol of human potential. Its metal walls had witnessed a journey that would be remembered for generations. William thought about young humans watching this moment. Children who would now believe that nothing was impossible, that their dreams could change the world, or, in this case, the entire galaxy. Thomas looked out the ship's window. The stars seemed brighter somehow, more full of possibility. Their mission had opened doors that had always been closed to humans. Emily prepared their next research proposal. Their success had shown that human curiosity knew no boundaries. They were ready for whatever challenge came next. The Galactic Confederation had learned an important lesson. Potential isn't about advanced technology or complicated systems. It's about creativity, passion, and the ability to see solutions where others see only problems. As the horizon prepared for its next journey, William gathered his crew. We're not just researchers anymore, he said. We're explorers. We're pioneers. The ship moved silently through space, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of an entire species, a small crew that had changed everything. Outside, the stars continued their ancient dance, but something had changed. Humanity had found its place in the universe, not through force or advanced technology, but through imagination, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. The End Universal Message. True potential has no limits. Believe in yourself, and you can change the world. Would you like me to refine or elaborate on any part of the story?